Hi, I'm Kim Kellman, and today I'm going to discuss the book Inspired by Marty Cagan. This book focuses on tech companies discussing what he has seen and what makes them work. He focuses on the importance of roles, team collaboration, and innovation. Before I focus on the brand this book helped me analyze, I want to discuss 3 things I found surprising about the book. The first thing I found surprising is team location, discussed in Chapter 9. This section really focused on how important co-location is for a product team. I was excited to hear this because with 5 years at a startup, 2 were co-located and 3 were remote. The most complicated product or training that we created was while the team worked in the same office. And honestly, I could not imagine creating that product as successfully or anywhere near as quickly if we had not been located in the same office. The speed in which we were able to make changes would have slowed a lot. I really connected with his emphasis on how important it is for a product team to be co-located, especially in our current area of everything being remote. I completely agree that building a product necessitates being all together as a group. I also really enjoyed the discovery testing in risk-averse companies section, chapter 52. My CEO was someone who did not like getting feedback from clients or testers because he didn't want to see bad feedback, or he didn't want the clients thinking about the bad feedback. This was frustrating for me, who as an engineer background, I believed that any information could help me improve the product. To me, as long as the data was collected in a smart and informed way, I could do something with it and I could help the product. I'd begun to think that I was naive about a business and maybe not asking was the best method. I really enjoyed reading about the risk-averse company. It did remind me that my CEO had a long career before the startup, so he was trying to protect part of his reputation, which I understood a lot more after reading this part of the book. So honestly, the last chapter was extremely impactful. Chapter 67, Establishing a Strong Product Culture. You really can't ask for a stronger finish than this chapter. I really loved the side-by-side comparison of execution culture, innovation culture. I could see how even though these cultures focus on different things, the principles have to go hand in hand for success. An example of this is the culture of skill set and diversity in innovation culture and the culture of collaboration in execution culture. It can be really difficult for so many diverse minds to be able to come together and collaborate effectively, and that can be a huge deterrent to finding the diverse team that you really need to innovate. You don't want so many different minds that you just don't get anywhere. These are both really strong necessities for innovation and execution to be achieved, but to allow ease, people all often leave one or the other by the wayside. So now that I've told you a bit about the book, I want to discuss one of my favorite brands called Bearable. So Bearable is an app that I've been using since 2017 to track mental health and medical condition symptoms. I've used many trackers that were never able to fully match what I needed, and this was one of the first apps I actually ever paid for. I think this app is special because you can customize all the fields you need to fit your needs, and then you get real insights and trends and correlations from the information that you put in. And it's a great way to not only manage your symptoms, but to take better control of them as well. The main thing I would say that they could do more with their products that they offer is to make the downloadable insights a little bit more doctor-friendly, and I'll sort of explain what I mean by that. So when you download the insights, you get everything that you've put in, and you can download insights and trends as well, but it's still a lot of information and way too much probably for a doctor to comprehend, so you have to organize a little bit extra. But what they could do, and what I think would be really helpful, is to make something that is bullets, one page, can be handed directly to a doctor or therapist, easily to explain potential needs. This can be created using conversations with the customers that they already have, and to find what information that they would most like to relay to professionals or to doctors, and also with the doctors that they already work with to understand what information doctors are sort of looking for that would be presented and how it should be presented in the best way. I think that would help a lot in transferring all of those insights into real-time actions and real-world actions while working with a healthcare professional in the easiest and fastest way that they can comprehend. This would be sort of one more step into letting the customers make those changes that Bearable helps them find that they need. Now that I've introduced my brand and why I love it, and I really, really do, and some of its current potential, I want to talk about some of the future opportunities I see for it and how it can work with their customer base. One of the things the app promises customers, and something I really admire, is an emphasis on data privacy and not selling personal information. I bring this up for a reason, which I'll explain. However, I do want to recognize this and emphasize that keeping that ongoing is extremely important because of how sensitive this information is. The emphasis on privacy gives someone the freedom to really track their habits and fully utilize the insights in a way that can provide meaningful change or actual impacts in their life. I know that I have always been very comforted by the level of privacy I feel like I am getting. The reason I mention the above is because I understand if this is the reason they haven't gone into this already. However, an area Bearable has not moved into is discussion boards, group therapy, or online therapy in any way. And I think that Bearable is an app where people can be a bit more honest and also a bit more focused on their needs, and thus their next market should be developing with their customers discussion boards or group therapy. I think there's a niche that Bearable customers focus on when they're using this app that is not utilized in a lot of other behavioral health organizations. I think that decisions between which of these to tackle first would be based on feedback from the customers that exists now to see what they would find more useful. I think both of these have big potential since groups and discussions can be matched up through the niches, trends, and insights that are already tracked through the app. The insights that are being tracked are already more specific than the categorization a person often uses when working with behavioral health services. There would be a lot of opportunity for what I sort of call off-brand needs of mental health, physical health, or just, the pains that people go through on a daily basis but aren't diagnosed. And I think that there's a lot of options for Bearable to focus on those in discussion boards or group therapy and connect people that would not usually be connected if you went to a mental health clinic and asked for group therapy, because those classifications are very broad and they're very categorized in a way that might not actually fit what your needs are. I do want to mention as an option that the use of AI technology here would be very useful. I do understand that this might not be possible in the near future because there aren't a lot of privacy laws, but AI could find some really good, strong suggestions and also really help the customer find the needs that they are looking for. The idea of AI chatbots sending notes of encouragement through the app. You usually use the app often for tracking your mood or your symptoms, so it's very easy to tell when someone's having a down week, when they're in a little bit of extra pain, when they are a little extra sad. And I think that an AI chatbot sending notes of encouragement during these weeks could be really beneficial. We've already been seeing benefits from communication between AI and people with mental health issues, and I think that a little bit of extra encouragement never really hurt anyone, and I could see a lot of potential there just to help every so often. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I loved the book and I really enjoyed applying it to my favorite brand and app, Bearable.